Welcome to Panther Points Preview, a look at this week's upcoming EP football game featuring head coach Tyler Whitebread.
And they played really good defense, and offensively they kept us on our toes. So it was a battle all game. Yeah, we got that early score in the third quarter that put us up 20-7. And then I believe we got a defensive stop and we had the ball and we were marching. And then we just kind of stalled out on offense. And, their Mendota way, they had some good play calling. They had some solid runs and they got back into the game. They scored a touchdown. So, I think that was, I don't know if that was at the end of the third or right at the beginning of the fourth. And next thing you know, it's a 20-14 game. And we're, we need to put together a drive for offense. So, again, not necessarily a bad thing for us to be in that position and to have to get things done when we had to, and we did. Our offense came through and played well, and we scored that really big touchdown at the end of the game to kind of put it somewhat out of reach. That was encouraging because I think that's what we had to do earlier in the season, our first couple wins where we had a little adversity in those games, and we were able to respond. And then the past few games, we've just been clicking on all cylinders. I think each game has a few opportunities for you to show growth and resilience. But this game was the same thing. And our offense, when we had to have something big, we did. We were tied in the second quarter. Yeah. And Derek Nosker,
Right.
that punt block, that was huge. Derek had a sack right before that.
Right.
That put it 4th and long, so we called a timeout, and we were talking in the huddle, and it dawned on me they did the rugby punt just like we did, and so I just kind of moved some guys around, and of course I'm going to put the fastest guy on the on our defense, our defensive line, who was a playmaker on the edge. So I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer, and it worked out perfect, and Derek executed. I can't say I can take credit for him kicking the ball down the field. That was him. That was him on his own, but that bounced perfectly up to him. And he deserved that one. I think you remember from last year a couple that he had that got called back. So it's awesome to have those plays by the guys that should be stepping up those opportunities to step up and showcase why those are the guys that get talked about every week. Seventh win would give us an opportunity to have a home game. So when I look at that, shoot, if you have an opportunity to have a home game in high school football, that's a huge advantage. That's great for the program. That's great for both hometowns. It's huge. It's huge. At the same time, we got a few guys banged up, and we're also trying to play it a little bit smart. However, we're gonna do everything we can to get the 7th win this week and do what we can, because we've been building this momentum for, I would say, about the last 4 or 5 weeks. Even our last loss to Rock Ridge, I thought we played good football. So we've kind of been on a roll, and win or lose, we got to continue to play better. We need to continue to play at a high level. All those things I think are important. He's special. I think it's he's arguably the best running back in our conference. I think you can make that case very easily. He has speed. He runs with power. He's been doing this he's probably a 3-year starter, I would guess. And we saw him last year. We got to see him up close and personal, and he's the real deal. It's going to be a team effort to stop him defensively. And then, the other guy that does a pretty nice job is their quarterback. They have a unique offense where Etheridge takes the snaps quite a few times, but the other guy takes snaps as well, and he runs some different things, and he runs hard, and he's a good runner. And I think their whole line is very solid and big, and they have some nice players, like usual. They do. So we're going to have to play some good football on Friday to compete with them. Their offense is similar to Riverdale. They run it right at you. They got some misdirection in the backfield that makes it hard on the linebackers. They throw a lot of blockers, whether it's to the strong side or to the weak side. So again, you got to be buckled up and strapped up and ready to play some hard nosed football this week. Otherwise, you're going to take a beating. Once we're there and once we're all padded up, or it'll be nice. The varsity guys will be able to be on the sideline watching the fresh soft guys, cheering them on, like we used to before that game. And then it's a big night of football, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's kind of just easier having two games in one night for the coaches. I don't know if parents. I think the parents would agree too. I just think it's a solid night. It's a longer night, but it's a lot of fun. We're all together. So we're all looking forward to it.